This is like misconception. All these people think, oh, his dad gave him a bunch of money. Well, I mean, I'm partially like responsible for that, because I didn't I perpetuated it. I didn't argue it because that was like what got me in the games.
Gambling. When was the addiction the worst?
Probably early in college because I wasn't that good and I was also like getting f***ed up and then playing, and I didn't really have like good bankroll management. And so I would lose money that was like really like catastrophic, and it affected.
Good bankroll management means what in your opinion?
Like if you got $100,000 and you're buying in for like $1,000, you're buying in for an amount that like you're not supposed to be able to go broke. Just respecting the boundaries of like the limits that you can play.
And in college, you went from, having not a lot of money to more money than you could have ever imagined to then losing it.
I had a lot of money coming in, and it was like all tax-free, and then I blew all of it. I like made some money and then I blew all of it, but it was a tough yo-yo. Like on the way down, it was shit, man. Like I had like mortgaged my car. I just like, it's like borrowing money from friends. Like I asked my parents for money and they cut me off, and it was.
They cut you off?
They never really loaned me any money, yeah.
What do you think that taught you, that experience?
Oh, that was invaluable. I mean, going broke is a very, very powerful experience for a gambler, and it's almost like a must. Like if you don't go broke, then you really kind of like don't know how it is. But knowing that it's that causes you to have better bankroll management because you never want to go broke again.
Explain your goal with how you wanted to be perceived.
I wanted to be perceived as a bad player because I knew that, the easiest money was playing against the rich, bad players, and that was always where I wanted to go. I saw that from, playing live. Like when I went to the Bellagio and I started playing there, I would, these bad players would come in, and man, it was like, it was night and day. Like beating a bad player for a bunch of money is so much easier than trying to squeeze it out of a pro, because that pro is gonna he's gonna make the folds. He's gonna he's gonna pick you off here and there. He's gonna figure your shit out. These bad players, I would just pound on them. I could just tell when they were either gonna snap back or when they just weren't gonna fold. And I knew those games were out there too, like the private games, because I had friends that had been in them or people talked about them. I mean, I was like in there at the right time. I just, I started breaking into the private games scene, and I could just tell that they did not want pros in the game. So you had to just do everything in your power to convince them that you were not a pro. I had to have a story. My story was the trust fund. Like I had a trust fund, I just didn't have access to it. This is like misconception. All these people think, oh, his dad gave him a bunch of money. Well, I mean, I'm partially like responsible for that, because I didn't I perpetuated it. I didn't argue it because that was like what got me in the games.
And how did social media help in starting to create better gambling opportunities for you?
It helped perpetuate the, the rich guy image. Also, these guys want to be around hot girls. So when I would have my poker games, I had a bunch of hot girls working them, and I would just only invite bad players.
Tell about Molly's game.
What do you want to know?
Well, you said the movie didn't really do it justice.
No, it did. That movie was really good, and the lady that they got to play Molly was spot on. She did an amazing job. So the first time I showed up, it's like there's all these hot girls in cocktail dresses, all this food, the best cigars, expensive, champagne and the cognac, and just any kind of bullshit you could imagine. And so you walked in there, and it was like a movie poker game.
His name's obviously been out there now. What did you think of Tobey Maguire, played by Michael Cera in the movie?
I didn't really like the guy. Most Hollywood guys are, they're like really nice to the face or whatever. But I don't know. If I don't like somebody, I just kind of tell them.
And why do you think he rubbed people the wrong way?
I mean, I think he was arrogant. I think he was kind of a dick, and he played to win. Like he wanted to win. He was actually a pretty good player.
How did people feel about him taking the game from Molly?
I think everybody had a lot of respect for him. He's a A-list actor, and he had a lot of pull. I didn't play his game after. I only played Molly's game a couple times. She wouldn't let me back.
Did you try and get in?
Yeah, she basically said, you're too good. It's funny because she wasn't even a poker player, but she was such a sharp hustler that she picked it out.